So let's take you back to that big story of the day that reported a holding back of 2 ministers and a deputy minister in Irene last night. General Keith Mokoape is a former commander in Umkhonto weSizwe and member of the preparatory committee for the all-inclusive MK conference. He joins us now via Zoom. A very good morning, and thank you so much for making the time to speak to us, General.
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning to your listeners.
What do you know about
viewers?
What do you know about what transpired last night?
What I know about what transpired last night is that it was a continuation of the march that was staged at Luthuli House a few days ago that resulted in a group of military veterans staying over the night at Luthuli House. And they were promised that on Thursday they will meet with the Deputy President, who is in charge of the task team that looks at all issues related to military veterans. And what we know is what we saw on TV.
I don't know if you've been watching television this morning. The national spokesperson of the African National Congress has disputed this version that you're presenting to us now and said the situation at Luthuli House had something to do with health concerns and COVID restrictions. What is the real situation there?
I did not listen nor view that version in the morning. The main thing here is that this was not an ANC issue. The president has given the task to the deputy president of the country, Deputy President Mabuza, to look at issues relating not only to MK veterans, but the entire community of military veterans, that is MK, APLA, and Azanla. And that process is the one that was supposed to be taking place at St. George's Hotel yesterday. It was therefore not a party issue. And that is correctly so why you saw various groupings other than just MK in this episode.
Were you there?
No, I was not there.
So over and over again this morning, we've been reminded that the grievances of the military veterans are both of a historical nature and also of the continuing dissatisfaction with how their issues are being dealt with. What needs to happen for a solution here?
Thank you. And you've got it right. We repeat historic nature. The whole issue of military veterans starts from the demobilization process of 1994, those who were integrating and those who were taking packages and thinking that they can do it outside there. And outside there didn't become that easy. So that demob package that they had gotten literally got empty and things became difficult. Their age, their skills, their education did not just allow that they can get new jobs, whether corporate or public, and therefore they were in the streets. And for all the years, we have been struggling with just how we resolve the problem of military veterans until Minister of Defense Lindiwe Sisulu established a task team to create an omnibus, completely comprehensive resolution of this problem. I was fortunate to be on that ministerial task team. And in 2011, Parliament promulgated a new act, the Defense Military Veterans Act. And the Department of Military Veterans was attached to the Department of Defense. That's where the problem was to be resolved. Now, we had very, very explicit deliverables. But these deliverables have become so elusive because we're not that good as a country, as a government, as political parties, at strategies for implementation. Strategies of policy, legislation, documentation, we are excellent, amongst the best actually in the world. But the strategies of implementation have created this department today of military veterans being the worst performing department in government, actually returning monies to national treasury at the same time that the backlogs of those deliverables amongst this constituency are glaring and glaring. So it is an expression of that the ANC National Executive Committee in June of this year decided to dissolve all groupings, and I wouldn't want to say factions, all groupings within the MK military veterans community, and set up this committee that I am on, led by retired Air Force General Zakes Msimang, to begin now calling an all-inclusive conference of all factions. I don't want to say there was a KB faction or a General Nyanda faction. There could have been other little groupings like this particular one of yesterday. They are not, according to Des van Rooyen, former Treasurer General of MKMVA, now disbanded. When we asked him yesterday, do you know these people? He said, no, General, I don't know them. It does not mean that everybody within the MK military veterans community is necessarily of MKMVA or of MK National Council. So we are on a path, madam and viewers, of calling a conference. We are already late. It was supposed to have taken place by September, but some logistical issues have created a little delay. That conference is coming, and everybody within the MK environment in general knows that there's this committee, and hence there is just no reason for anybody to go and march on the headquarters of a political organization or to want to close up senior ministers in a particular room at a hotel. Not at all, not at all. And therefore, what happened last night, we condemn with all the strength that we had, that there are channels here, and they could easily have found out from the perhaps ANC offices where we find General Msimang's committee, and we would have given them a hearing, a real ample hearing. And there's no point in wanting to see the president of the country.
General Mokoape, let me take you back to last night again. The minister in the presidency, Mondli Gungubele, released a note where he says they had the meeting, it was seemingly concluded, and as they were on their way out, the reported hostage situation took place. What do you know about this? What could have happened suddenly that resulted in this reaction from the veterans?
Well, I listened to Honorable Gungubele from beginning to end. He says that the nature of the meeting, it was not agreed on the nature of that meeting, how it was going to take place. And it was therefore decided to adjourn it. And once that decision was taken, they were walking out and the door got closed. Now, when the door got closed, I wouldn't know what those who were closing the door then said. Either they said, you don't leave until we resolve all issues, or don't leave until the president comes, or we are not going to leave by whatever means because we want to make a statement to the media and to the public and embarrass everybody. I don't know what the closers of the door actually said to Gungubele.
Let's thank you for your time this morning.
But we could come, ma'am, we could come to the issues. We know the issues. The issues are the benefits, and some of these benefits, like housing, we didn't say we were going to build houses with you, which is what we should have said. Municipalities will designate areas and we shall build houses with you, because you can see by the nature of their toying, by the nature in which we have been seeing them at different events, these are people who are strong enough to actually build their own homes together with government. We said we shall give you houses. We created an entitlement mentality. And this is what they are saying now, deliver for us. But the departments aren't able to meet their backlogs, whether it is about military veterans' houses or about houses in general. There are problems there. And so I think we should be able to sit together and say, how do we speed up these processes? And one of them is this conference that's coming. And of course, we've got to talk to APLA, and we've got to talk to Azam.
We hope you'll avail yourself for further conversations. But retired Major General Keith Mokoape, a former commander of Umkhonto Wesizwe and a member of the preparatory committee for the all-inclusive MK conference.